Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be talking about the different surgeries that I had because of the rheumatoid arthritis. And if you like what you see, hit the like button, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification button. And if you hear the music in the background, I do not own that. It's meditation music that I listen to relax me and calm my mind. But when I was diagnosed with the rheumatoid arthritis in 2004, I didn't have no clue that I was going to be going through what I have been through. The first surgery I had, actually, it was to have a port put in because I had so much scar tissue that they could even get a vein no longer than going into my neck. So they did that and they put in a port. And after I had the port put in, I had to wait 2 weeks to make sure the area was healed before I had the surgery. And I went in and my first surgery was done on my left thumb. It was infused and it's still deformed. My hands are deformed from the rheumatoid arthritis. And the second surgery that I had done, it was done on my right hand. My right hand was like this before the surgery, and now this is as good as it gets. And the doctor told me that, it wouldn't be back perfect, but I will be able to use it. And I do. I can use my hand, but like I said, it's deformed also. But I had 5 surgeries done on this one hand. I had a wrist replacement where they went in and replaced my wrist, and they pulled the tendons down to open my hand. And then after that healed, I had to go back in for them to remove the bolts that they had in my wrist. And after the bolts was taken out, then I went back a month later. They did the knuckles. They replaced my knuckles. And while they replaced the knuckles, they removed the cyst. And after that was done, a month later, I went back and then they did the carpal tunnel surgery here. So I had 5 surgeries on just this one hand. And that's what rheumatoid arthritis would do for you. It would cripple your body when you least expect it. A lot of people be complaining about, how they, oh, my arthritis hurt, I'm hurting, I'm like, I'd rather have arthritis than have rheumatoid arthritis. Because with rheumatoid arthritis, you hurt 24/7. Your joints hurt all the time. It never stop hurting. You can take all the medication in the world, your joint still hurts. You can get beta blockers and all that, your joints and stuff still hurts. The pain never goes away. My pain level for me on a good day is a 7. And my worst day is a 10 plus. So I learned to cope with it because at one time they had me on so many pain meds. And all the pain meds did was just numb it. That's all it did was numb me. And I was on muscle relaxers because I had a lot of muscle spasm. So, and the muscle spasm, the muscle relaxers, they make me sleep a lot. And when I'm in pain, I'm very fatigued. I perspire really like I'm having a hot flash, but I'm not having a hot flash. I am in pain. I remember one time I took my daughter to the hospital, and I was sitting there checking her in, and the nurse kept asking me, "Is you okay? Is you fine?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm fine. I'm just in pain. I'll need you to check my daughter out." They kept asking me, "Oh, is you having a heart attack?" "No, ma'am, I'm not having a heart attack. I'm just in pain. Can you look at my daughter?" I brought her in. So it's really irritating at times when you're trying to tell a person that you're fine and then they really concerned about you other than the person that you brought in. So now I have dealt with a lot. And then when I'm is in pain and when I go into the emergency room, then they have you sit there forever. You know, it's been a while since I've been to the emergency room because when they first took me off of my pain meds, I was in so much pain that I couldn't even get out of bed. And I would go to the urgent care and they would give me a cocktail. And the cocktail would last for about a week. And I'm right back in pain again. But, you know, that's just part of life, you know, that you go through. And I try to tell people, you know, no matter what I'm going through, I'm grateful and thankful for being here. And I'm hoping that by me doing my videos will help someone to understand, you know, I have my bad days and I have good days. And a lot of my friends know when I have good days, I am so cheerful and fun, you know, and a lot of times they'd call and, you know, Evelyn, you want to do something? No, I'm having a bad day. And those are the days I don't want no one to see me. And I have did 2 videos on my bad days. So it just, it's weird, you know, to have, like now, I'm sorry, I'm fatiguing right now because I'm in pain. But that's just the way life is. And back to the next surgery that I had my right ankle done. I had it replaced. I have a titanium rod running through my foot, holding my ankle in place. And after I had that one done, I was in a cast for 6 weeks. And then after that, after I got out of the cast, I waited a month before I went and had my left ankle done. And I have a titanium rod running through my foot in that one also. And I was in a cast for 6 weeks. So doing these surgeries, oh, please forgive me. Doing these surgeries it take a lot out of you, you know, mentally. You have to be prepared for going under. And the doctors and them are so amazed how fast I recover from my surgeries. And I'm very blessed that I don't have any setbacks after my surgeries, because a lot of people do. And after I had my left ankle done, I waited 2 years before I had my next surgery to give my body a chance to recuperate. And that was my major surgery that I had was done on my L4 and L5. When I went in, I was always having sharp pains running down my leg. And they did x-rays, MRI, and the doctor came back and he asked me, he said, how is you standing and walking? I'm like, what you talking about? He says, excuse me. He says that there's nothing there. He's just got a lot of bone fragments. So he showed me the x-rays and I'm looking at them like, okay. I said, the only thing I could tell you is the grace of God. It's the reason why I'm standing and walking, because there wasn't nothing there. Bone fragment was pushing up against my spine. I looked at those x-rays on a Thursday. The next day I was in surgery. That was a Friday. And he was like, we have to do this now, because if you fall or shift any kind of way, them bone fragments will hit your nerves and paralyze you. I'm like, okay. So I left, came home, told my kids what was going on. And that night I prayed and I told God, you know, I know there's a reason I'm going through this. But if you could just take me through this and let me make it to tomorrow to get to the surgery done, I would be so grateful and thankful because I do not want to be paralyzed. I do not want to go back to where I used to be. I used to be in a powered scooter. I used to ride a scooter because I wasn't able to walk. And when I went to the specialist hospital, they put me on this chemo drug that was for rheumatoid arthritis. And that was able to make me mobile again. And I have to take that chemo for the rest of my life. But I'm very grateful for that. And so the next morning, me and my daughter, we went to the hospital. The doctor talked to us, told what they was gonna do, and he told her that once he's done, he'll come out and let her know. And then after that, they brought her into recovery to see me, and she asked me how I was feeling. I'm like, I'm feeling fine. I don't feel no pain because I didn't. The pain that was in my lower back, it was gone. He had taken care of that. Although I have a titanium rod there now, but that's fine. I can't bend forward and I can't bend backwards, but that's okay. But I'm mobile and I don't have any pain there anymore. And I had a drainage tube in also. And the doctor came in and talked to me and told me, well, we're going to leave the drainage tube in there till it run clear. I'm like, okay. He said it might be a couple of days. He said, but in a couple of hours, they're going to come and get you up and take you walking. I'm like, okay. So they came and got me up, took me walking to physical therapy, and we walked the whole floor of the hospital that I was on and back to my room. And he said that he had never seen anyone do that. He said because people that had the same surgery that I had, he said they hollered and somebody, it hurts. They can't walk. They want to go lay down. And they had me on a morphine pump where I can administer my own pain med. I didn't even use it. I didn't need it because I didn't have any pain there. It was just like the pain, it was just gone. And I felt so much better because when the doctor came in to remove the drainage plug tube from me, he said, I noticed you haven't used the morphine. I'm like, I don't need it. I said, because the pain that was there, I don't have that anymore. So he ordered them to remove it. And he said, well, we're going to take the drainage tube out. I'm like, okay. And I heard so many people talking about, oh, it hurt for the drainage tube to come out. I'm sitting there talking to this doctor, and he there, I'm thinking he's just examining me. He done took the drainage tube out. I did not feel it. And then so he was leaving. I'm like, is you going to take the drainage tube out? He said, I already removed it. And I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't feel it. He said, you did? I'm like, no. Because I had watched so many YouTube videos of people, how they said it hurted so bad for that drainage tube to come out. That was the worst pain they ever felt. I did not feel mine at all. And I guess I was very grateful for that. And I had to go back and see the doctor after, it was 3 weeks after I had the surgery. I had to go back and see him. And he asked me, he said, how are you feeling? I said, I feel good. I said, there's no pain or anything like that. And he did x-ray and checked, and everything was healing fine. And he told me, if you have any other problems, let me know. I like, okay. So after that surgery was done, I waited another 2 years. And my neck was giving me problems. And then I started having sharp pains running down my arm. So I went to my doctor. First, I thought I was having a heart attack. And I went to the doctor, and they was like, oh, your blood pressure and everything is fine. So they sent me to a neurologist. The neurologist did x-rays and everything, and MRIs and CAT scans. So she said that I'm going to send you to a surgeon. I'm like, okay. So I get to go see the surgeon, and he his, look at the lab work, and he look at the x-rays and everything, and he's like, okay, you got a lot of bone fragments float around up there, right? I'm like, no, I did not. He said, so your neurologist didn't explain that to you? I'm like, no, they did not. They just said they're sending me to a surgeon. He said, well, we're going to have to do emergency surgery because you got a lot of bone fragment and they pushing up against your spinal cord. I'm like, okay. I'm like, here we go again with the paralyzed thing. He's like, what you mean? I'm like, because when I had my L4 and L5 done, it was the same thing. It was pushing up against a nerve. And they said I could be paralyzed from waist down. And he said, well, you could be paralyzed from your neck down. I'm like, okay. When can we do this? He said, when you want to do it, I like, soon as possible. He said, well, go get your lab work done, and I'll see you tomorrow. That was on a Wednesday. And that Thursday, I was going to surgery to have my neck surgery done. And I had to wear a neck brace all the way up to here for 8 weeks. That was the miserable thing in my life. Sleeping in that thing, I had to sleep in it. I couldn't take it off. When I came out of surgery, I could hear my daughter fussing about where's her neck brace. The doctor said she's going to be a neck brace. And I'm like, what's going on? She's like, don't move your neck, mama. She said, you don't have your brace on. I'm like, okay. So I had to lay there, still trying not to move my head or anything, because I didn't want to paralyze myself. So they came in, they put the neck brace on me, and I was able to sit up and be able to talk to my daughter. And the doctor came in, and I told him, I said, well, they just put my neck brace on. He said, they should have put that on you in recovery, because I was back in my room when I had the neck brace on. They didn't even do it in recovery. They did it in my room. So I was in the hospital for 48 hours. After that, I came home, and I had to wear that brace for a while. And that was the last major surgery that I have had so far, other than had to have my port replaced. The first time they put my port in, they put it on the right side, and I had 5 surgeries, 5 ports replaced on that one side. And so the 6th one that I had to have put in, they ended up putting it on my left side, because he said I had so much calcium buildup in my arteries that's why it wasn't functioning the way it should. So they want that side to heal, so they put it on the left side. But I still have problems with my neck, and the doctor did say that I probably would have to have another surgery because my neck gets tight and stiff at times where I can't turn it. I can't hold my head back or lean too far forward anyway because of the rod in my neck. But I know once this pandemic is over, I will be going back and having this surgery done. I'm hoping that the pandemic goes away soon, because it gets to the point where it's hard for me to lift my head up when I'm laying down. I have to roll over and try to sit up that way. I just can't sit up out of the bed, up off the pillow. I have to roll over on my side and then sit up, because this part of my neck hurts really bad. But I have been really blessed. I haven't had any problems with my shoulders or my hip or knees, and I thank God for that. But like I said, if you like my videos, hit the like button, share, and subscribe. And please don't forget to hit the notification button, so when I upload new videos, you will know when they're there. And thank you all that have watched my videos. Thank you. And have shared my videos. Thank you. And I'm hoping and praying that it will help someone else to understand that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You just got to have faith and believe. And again, thank you all. Namaste.